from the community. Special thanks to the town of Olds, the Aquatic Center for allowing us to host here, the fire department, that's awesome, the Olds Association for Community Living. You can see lots of little flags and posters around, and that was done on their behalf. And they're also hosting a barbecue as the after event if you want to stick around. The Boys and Girls Club, Karen Mangerson from the Special Olympics, thank you very much. Panago Pizza for donating all of the pizza here today. That's a huge donation today, so thank you so much. Tim Hortons for donating the Timbits and coffee. How could you go wrong with pizza, Timbits, and coffee for breakfast? And as well to the UFA reps for changing their schedule to allow this day to happen. We really appreciate it. I first met Abe about almost 5 years ago when I started my role with the YES program. Part of my role, the role of the YES program is to really promote mental health and increase resiliency in children, youth, and families. And one of the things that I get to do is go into grade 8 classrooms and do presentations. So if any of you have ever had that opportunity, you know it's almost as stressful as this because you just never know what you're going to get. And I did this presentation and I walked out and I went to my staff and I said, does anybody know that little chubby kid with the chubby cheeks and the curly brown hair? I think his name is Abe Crawford. He was driving me crazy in there. Because every time I asked a question, he thought he would be funny and redirect the conversation, and I had to bring it back. And he did it to me for about 90 minutes. So thanks for that, Abe. Anyways, Abe stuck out in my mind ever since then, and he started to hang out in our program. We were very lucky at the old high school to have a classroom with a small office attached, and Abe started hanging out with a few of his friends, and he joined in on some programming. And over time, when Abe no longer was a participant as a mentee, he turned around and started volunteering in a way that I hadn't even noticed, actually. The first time that it struck me how much he was hanging out with us, I had a small office to the side of this classroom, and because there were so many kids going out, I put on a sign, staff only, please. And one day I walked in, and there was another sign on the door that said, and MITS, M-I-T-S. And Abe was standing there with a big grin on his face, and I said, what's a MIT? And he goes, a mentor in training. Oh, we just couldn't shake him. So anyways, he started to volunteer regularly with us, very consistently actually, and spent a lot of time with our after-school events at the elementary school. So lots of little faces there that really enjoy Abe's company. I could go on and on about the list of things that Abe has worked with us, but that would take too long. And so what I wanted to do is kind of give you my views on ways that I think that Abe has impacted this community and why I thought he was very deserving for this award. His willingness to give back and spend time with younger youth to promote inclusion and participation changed the way programming was offered in the schools and community. Because of him, we now have a formal MIT program. Because of Abe, other kids want to participate in the activities that we're doing. Older high school students now think it's fun to hang out with us and come with us to other events. So because of his leadership in that role, it really impacted the way that the YES program was formed. So for that, I am thankful. Abe is incredibly reliable. He can always be depended on and always show up with a smile. He is the true form of what a volunteer looks like. I can't count the amount of times when I would be in a staff meeting and we would be planning events and we want to make sure that we have enough adult supervision to make the event successful. And almost every time I would say, okay, I'll call Abe. Okay, I'll text Abe. I'll go check in on Abe, find him during a spare and see what he can do. He never turned me down, except for one time when we hosted something on a different night and I called him last minute because I was in a panic and I said, Abe, I need help. We don't have enough. Can you come? And he's like, no, I can't. And I was like, what? Excuse me? He said, I can't because I coach for the Special Olympics. And this is my night that I'm coaching. And that hit me that I realized at that moment how often Abe was out volunteering in his community. And I thought it was just with us. And it wasn't. After that, I kind of felt guilty about using him so much, but then because he was so great to have around, I didn't feel bad for long. So we kept him coming. Abe has reduced the stigma of working with special needs individuals. Some people think that it takes a special kind of person to work with vulnerable sectors of our community. And maybe it does, but not in the way that you would think. It takes someone like Abe who genuinely cares for the people he engages with and passes no judgment on anyone. I've heard him talk about the events and the dances that he gets to attend through Special Olympics, and it's very clear to me that Abe enjoys his connection with this group, and I'm sure that the feeling is mutual. He often comes back and says, "We had the best dance." Anyways, for him, I know he enjoys it just as much as the rest of the participants. Humor is a protective factor for resiliency, and Abe's sense of humor is infectious. And although I think some of his previous teachers there standing at the back would disagree. Or maybe use another word for it, I don't know. But in a program that is designed to promote resiliency, we've used this young man to our full advantage. We are a farming community, and Abe can be looked at as a farmer. One who plants seeds of resiliency. He plants seeds of confidence and self-esteem by spending time with others to make them feel valued. He plants seeds of hope as he engages with people from vulnerable sectors to make them feel special and included. And he plants seeds of humor to help people see the lighter sides of life and their ability to laugh at oneself and be joyful. Every week for the past several years, Abe has been spreading these seeds of resiliency without any expectation for recognition, reward, or gratitude from others. He simply did it because he saw that a gap was there that needed to be filled, and he was capable and willing to do so. If we could have more of Abe, our community, every community across Alberta would be fantastic. I've learned that Abe does not just participate to be involved. He does so to make a difference. Abe was chosen to go to a Ripen leadership camp for the past couple of years. And he came back from camp last year and he was talking to me about a very serious, complicated issue with another youth that was at the camp. And when I was talking to Abe about his experience with that and how he felt about it, I was expecting him to say something more like it was bothersome or shocking. But what he said was I ever glad I was there? Because I wanted to make sure that that person knew that they weren't alone and that they have people around them that care for them and love them. And so I thought, which is remarkable because sometimes as adults it's still uncomfortable in those situations to know what to do or say, but Abe has the ability to be present and to make that difference. What makes Abe special is that he is very intuitive to what's going on around him. And even though his joking manner may make you assume otherwise, he has an incredible ability to step up in the most unlikely places for a teenage boy to make a difference in the lives of others. So Abe, I want to thank you. Truly thank you for everything that you have done, for the programs and the people that you have touched. You have given a great deal back to this community. You are a stone that is cast against the water, and although the initial impact may not be seen, the ripples in the water will not go unnoticed. Thank you from me for helping me. Helping me move forward with the YES program, because you really did impact the program. You helped me out when I was new to something, and it's definitely changed the way that things are done, and I couldn't have done it without you, and I don't know how I'm going to do it without you at all, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Rylan. Our next speaker is the man of the hour, Abe Crawford. Before we do that, our last couple reasons why Abe should win. Letitia, Abe's co-worker, said Abe should win because of his dedication and commitment to the children and youth in our community. He's an excellent role model and mentor and has made a difference in life.